nervous system. In fact, it's a major nervous system that's connected to every organ and gland in the body, and it's called the sympathetic nervous system. And it's primarily triggered by fear, which is the dragon's primary emotion. Because fear is what you experience when you have no power to change or escape the situation. You have to go into defense. If you don't have the ball, you can't make points. And you don't have any power, except defensively. So does this make sense?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it just makes sense. I mean,
and see, the clearer we are able to see how this game works and then apply it to our own life, the better we're going to play the game, of course. So without dragons, there would be no humans, because nobody would have ever survived. In other words, we need the dragons, but we don't need them to control and direct our life, and of course what feeds them is trauma and trauma memory. So we certainly don't want to do anything that traumatizes organ gland functions. Now, in order to not do that, what we have to all learn to do is to be able to express our truth more clearly, quickly, and appropriately, which is the only thing I've ever found that humans can do that really makes things better in a positive, regenerative way. And I'm not saying everybody will like it, but spirits will like it if you do it right. Dragons, they're not going to like anything except what they do. And it's all based on fear, force, manipulation, deception, and confusion. And that's the ways of the dragon, is how to survive that. So, Insight 79. Dragons will sell you anything you'll buy, because in terms of dragon logic, if you buy it, there's a market for it because you bought it. And there's good reason to believe that you may buy more of it, since you already bought it. So this is a very tricky area that we all get into, and that is being clear enough, quick enough, that we don't end up being the primary reinforcer, enabler, and maintainer of the dragons and the people around us. And we do that if we treat dragons like spirits, or spirits like dragons. So playing the game above zero, where we can get points, the first step is discrimination on the uptake. In other words, you've got to be able to tune in and discriminate between the ways of the dragon and the ways of the spirit. Remember, the ways of the spirit are love and light, and the ways of the dragon are fear, force, manipulation, deception, and confusion. So if you can discriminate between those two things, that's a good start. And then as you do that, what happens is all of a sudden a lot of things start making a lot more sense. Now, they're not the way that you may have thought they were before, but when you start observing them energetically, they make a lot more sense. And they're much more consistent. And you're not nearly as confused if you can think through those 7 words and 2 categories. Another thing that I've found with clients is that it's a lot easier for them to understand their life